Okay, so today we're taking the first 20. For the recording here, I'm just reiterating what I just said. And I was asking kids, are there any of these questions off the first 20 that might give you trouble? And they, the first suggestion was this one. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. And then I get x squared minus 3x minus 5 equals 0. What did I just do? I just set it equal to 0. Because why? Because then if I can factor it, I should. But, spoiler alert, all the ones on the first 20 don't factor. So they're trying to remind you about the unit we just finished. And so what's that formula called that solves all of these? The quadratic formula. So that's what you do. And your answer after you stick in x equals negative b, which would be 3, plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 9, minus 4ac, 4 times 1 times negative 5. I'm not even putting the times 1 because everybody knows that doesn't do anything. All over 2a, which is 2. So your final answer, you'd have to put this into your calculator. They ask for this part first, and then the plus minus is already there. And then they ask for this part next. I'm going to make it red. Square root of, and that's 9 plus 20 is 29. And then they ask for this part last, all over 2. So the black part, the red part, and the blue part. And how do you type a square root in a Schoology quiz? SQRT. SQRT of 29. Yes?
Should we put it with parentheses or without?
I think I have it in there both ways, but the directions that are right in the problem will show it either with a parenthesis or without. And I can't remember what it says. So on the Schoology quiz, it'll tell you whether you use parentheses around the 29 or not. I think it's with parentheses, I think. But you'll see in the directions. Okay. Yes?
Can we go over number 16?
Happily. This is going to get you guys so ready for next semester. All right, number 16, read it.
So, in parentheses, x minus 7, and in parentheses, and another one which is x plus 3, in parentheses, over x squared minus 49.
All right, so the secret to this one is factoring. The top has already been factored, but the bottom needs to be factored. What is x squared minus 49? It breaks into two things. Anytime you have a perfect square like that, where it's 49, then you can go x plus 7 and x minus 7. Does that make sense to you so far? Then this cancels, and all you have to do is put in x plus 3 and have it in parentheses, and x plus 7 and have it in parentheses. Glad you're here, but you are quite late there, youngster. I'll do it. Okay, so that's how you do that kind. So do you get how it's mostly just factoring something and then something cancels? So this shouldn't be that bad. Okay, are there any others that you think might be hard? In a minute when we start this quiz. So Truckee, this is the first 20 that we did yesterday. It's right. If you look in yesterday's folder, there's a PDF of it. Yeah. Some kids are asking about certain ones because we're going to repeat this quiz for real today. And the practice one yesterday was a good guide. Yes?
Can you do number 11?
Read it.
8y equals 16x minus 8. And then you need to find the slope of y-intercept.
All right, so the first thing you got to do is divide by 8. You always want to solve these for y. So think about this. This 8 here needs to go away, so I divide it by 8. And then it's gone. And so y equals, and now, Olivia, can you simplify this?
2x minus 1.
Yeah, and then when they ask for the slope, you just say 2. Don't say 2x, it's just 2. And if they ask for the y-intercept, a lot of times they ask for that as a point. The y-intercept is where x is 0, so you'd say 0 comma negative 1. Now, if they don't ask, they'll tell you in the directions how to enter it. But if they want it as a point, it'd be 0 comma negative 1. If they want it as just x equals negative 1, oh wait, y-intercept. Y equals negative 1, they could say that too. Look at how they ask for it in the directions on how to write it. So the key on that is just divide by whatever's in front of the y. Any others that you might get wrong? All right. then I think it's time. So today, we're gonna take this first 20, get the scores in the grade book, and then I'm gonna be talking to a lot of individual kids about what they need to do to kind of catch up and finish. And we'll see if I have more for the video after we take the first 20.